EasyJet says holiday demand is strong despite economic headwinds. The UK budget airline said Tuesday that bookings for spring and summer were looking good. Customers also seem to be accepting higher ticket prices, though the carrier said discounting would be needed in quieter periods. The relatively robust outlook comes despite growing pressure on household finances. Soaring inflation is squeezing family holiday budgets. EasyJet warned that the air travel industry faces price pressures too. Rising fuel prices, wage inflation and a strong US dollar are all taking a toll. However, boss Johan Lundgren says budget airlines are well placed for a coming slowdown. He says EasyJet always does well in tough times. Arch-rival Ryanair has already predicted it will see strong fare growth over the coming 18 months at least. On Tuesday, EasyJet posted a loss of around $213 million for the 12 months to the end of September. Over that time, health crisis-related disruptions slightly outweighed a very profitable summer. Shares in the airline dropped around 4% in morning trade. Some analysts said Tuesday's numbers lacked much in the way of positive surprises, and EasyJet didn't sound as bullish on fares as its rivals.
HSBC has agreed to sell its Canadian business to Royal Bank of Canada for around $10 billion in cash. It paves the way for a potential bumper payout for shareholders further down the line. HSBC once billed itself as the world's local bank, building a global network of retail branches. But in recent years, it's been cutting those back in a bid to improve profits. The lender made the move in a bid to boost returns, following pressure from its biggest shareholder, Ping An Insurance Group. The sale is expected to net HSBC a $5.7 billion pre-tax gain. The firm said it may return some of its proceeds to shareholders via a one-off dividend or buyback after the deal has closed. One analyst told Reuters that could go some way towards appeasing shareholders who were incensed by the bank curtailing dividends in 2020. HSBC shares were up over 4% following the announcement, far outperforming the FTSE index. The purchase will enable RBC to take market share in its home country, adding 130 branches and more than 780,000 retail and commercial customers. If successful, it will be the first big banking merger in a decade in Canada.
Stocks closed mostly flat on Tuesday. The Nasdaq the biggest loser with declines in both Apple and Amazon. The Dow was up fractionally, the S&P lost more than 0.1%, and the Nasdaq shed more than 0.5%. Investors are focused on an upcoming speech by U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell that could provide hints about the magnitude of future interest rate hikes to curb inflation. Nancy Daoud is a private wealth advisor at Ameriprise Financial.
One of our biggest problems has been that the economy is so strong. The good news has been the bad news. When you're trying to curb inflation, you almost are looking for the softening of the economy. And it's very counterintuitive, but that's pretty much what we're looking for. So until we see the labor market softening and corporate profits actually declining, then we'll know that we are on the road to conquering the inflation issue, which is the real culprit here.
The Fed has delivered 4 straight 75 basis point rate hikes, and it is expected to shift down the pace to a 50 basis point move in December. Investors on Tuesday also focused on recent protests against COVID-19 curbs in China, including at the world's biggest iPhone factory. Apple stock dropped 2.1%, down for a 4th straight session. And fellow Nasdaq names Amazon, chip maker NVIDIA, and electric vehicle maker Tesla all each lost more than 1%.
테슬라나 스페이스X나 그것과 관련된 기업들이 국내
If Tesla, SpaceX, or other related companies are considering more investment in Korea, including constructing a gigafactory, the government will do our best to support the investment.
다 해줄 생각입니다. 그 한국에 투자하려는 기업에
We are preparing a tailored approach to grant some advantages to the specified companies.
좀 맞춤형으로 줄 생각을 가지고 있습니다. 그걸 원칙을 명확하게 세워서
It is my view that we should help foreign companies investing in Korea to not have labor relations as a risk by establishing the rule of law, and I told Mr. Musk about this on our video conference.
머스크 회장과의 화상회의에서 제가 얘기를 했습니다.
Elon Musk has picked a public fight with Apple, and there are at least two companies that may be glad he did. They are music streaming giant Spotify and Epic Games, maker of the popular online game Fortnite. Both have not been happy with Apple's 30% fees in its App Store. And now neither is Musk. Musk, whose recent purchase of Twitter has stirred more than a few controversies, on Monday criticized the fee Apple charges software developers for in-app purchases and posted a meme suggesting he was willing to go to war rather than pay that fee, a tweet that he later deleted. Spotify has previously submitted antitrust complaints against the iPhone maker in Europe, and Epic Games sued Apple in the U.S. in 2020. Apple, for its part, has said the commissions help it fund reviews of apps to ensure consumers are not exposed to fraudulent, pornographic, or privacy-intrusive apps. In a series of tweets, Musk on Monday also suggested Apple had threatened to block Twitter from its App Store, although he did not explain why, and questioned whether Apple supported free speech. Apple, Twitter, and Spotify did not immediately respond to requests for comment.